Welcome, friends, people, historians. Welcome to Crash Course U.S. History. Today I will be teaching you about the Civil War Reconstruction period. My name is Reginald Buzz Killington. Let's get going. The 13th Amendment officially banned all slavery in the United States. The 14th Amendment made it so if you were born in the U.S., you were an American citizen, no matter what. The 15th Amendment denied any government denying a citizen the right to vote, no matter what the race or religion or whatever. Focus on me. Now, Crumpler. Crumpler, please explain to the audience what black codes are right now.
Okay, well, black codes were laws passed by the southern states in 1865 and 1866 after the Civil War, and the laws had the intent and the effect of restricting African Americans' freedom and compelled them to work in a labor economy based on low wages or debt. Black codes were part of a larger pattern of southern whites trying to suppress the new freedom of emancipated African American slaves.
Now my assistant Gerald from America will explain to you who carpetbaggers and scalawags were back in the Reconstruction area of the Civil War.
Carpetbaggers were Northerners who came down to the South to assist the Southerners and the freedmen.
The Civil Rights Act of 1875, sometimes called the Enforcement Act or Force Act, was a United States federal law enacted during the Reconstruction era to guarantee African Americans equal treatment in public accommodations and prohibit exclusion from jury service. The bill was passed by the 43rd United States Congress and signed into law by President Ulysses S. Grant on March 1, 1875. Several years later, the Supreme Court in fact ruled in Civil Rights Cases 1883 that sections of the act were, in fact, unconstitutional.
The rise of 1877 was a deal between the Republican and Democratic parties that allowed Republican candidate Rutherford B. Hayes to become the president. This deal would pull Union federal troops out of the South and cause the Republican Party to lose majority seating in the states of South Carolina, Florida, and Louisiana.
Another significant event that was towards the beginning of the Reconstruction era was the assassination of Abraham Lincoln, where he was shot on Good Friday, April 14, 1865, while attending the play Our American Cousin at Ford's Theater as the American Civil War was drawing to a close. The assassination occurred 5 days after the commander of the Confederate Army of Northern Virginia, Robert E. Lee, surrendered to Lieutenant General Ulysses S. Grant and the Union Army.
Hello, Master.
Whoa, holy moly! Crumpler, what are you doing here?
May I please inform the audience about Scalawags?
Fine, just make it quick.
Let me tell you about some Scalawags. See, Scalawags were the Southern whites who supported Reconstruction and the Republican Party after the Civil War.
Another important group from the early Reconstruction era was known as the KKK. They were a secret organization in the southern U.S. active for several years after the Civil War, which aimed to suppress the newly acquired powers of blacks and to oppose carpetbaggers from the North, and which was responsible for many lawless and violent proceedings.
Hey guys, I'm Derek. I'm General Buzz Killington's son. And since we're already doing the Crash Course video, I might as well tell you guys about this little thing called sharecropping at the end of the Civil War, during the Reconstruction period. Sharecropping was a system of work for freedmen who were employed in the cotton industry. This system traded freedmen's labor for the use of a house, land, and sometimes further accommodations. They would usually give half or more of their grown land or different resources to the owner of that certain property.
One important figure from the early Reconstruction era was President Andrew Johnson. He was a political leader of the 19th century. He was elected vice president in 1864 and became president when Abraham Lincoln was assassinated in 1865. He is one of the two presidents to have been impeached. The House of Representatives charged him with illegally dismissing a government official. The Senate tried him, and he was acquitted by only one vote. Andrew Johnson, in today's terms, is actually seen as one of the more racial presidents the U.S. has ever had. Even after the Civil War, he thought that the black people should not be involved in the rebuilding in the United States, thinking that the white men should be involved in both the rebuilding of the South and helping out continue keeping the North strong.
Overall, Reconstruction was both a success and a failure. It was successful because the United States was finally united again and ended the South trying to separate from the North. New amendments were added to the Constitution which gave equal rights to all people. Negatively, the South's economy was ruined because of the lack of people to work on plantations. Basically, African Americans were discriminated against due to the introduction of them into common culture. Also, due to the 1877 Compromise, federal troops were removed from the South, and blacks still didn't have true equality until 1960.
I'm General Buzz Killington. I really hope you enjoyed our video today, and I really hope you learned something valuable that you'll be able to take into your life further on. We here at Crash Course really take time and effort into making our videos, and if you don't mind, like, comment, or subscribe. Have a great day.